Only the strong survive. Can you really fight? Listen, the other day, I was in a conversation with a young man who had a reputation of getting into fights, but his reputation was not winning. He had a reputation for losing fights, but he was proud of the fact that whether I win or whether I lose, I never back down. Are you hearing me today? I said I never back down. And I didn't really know how to take that, because the reality is, even though you never back down, you still ought to have victories over courage. It's great to be courageous, but you got to have some victories. Paul explains to us, don't fight as one that beats the air. You swinging with everything you got, but you're not hitting anything. You're not connecting with anything. You're not making an impact with your punch. Put up your dukes. Only the strong survive. Not just the courageous, but the strong survive. The question is, can you really fight? And in my points and my passage, you'll understand why I picked the subject that I picked, because there are a lot of believers. They buck, they dance, they shout, they sing, they preach, they usher, they serve, but they really can't fight. And I'm speaking on the confines of the spiritual element of all of us that proclaim to be believers. Paul puts pen to parchment and he writes to Timothy in 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 7. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. And so that's why I wanted to talk about only the strong survive. Can you really fight? My first point explains my reason for the subject. Point number one, a lot of believers are all bark and no bite. Doing a lot of bark as a believer, but don't have any bite in our testimony. Doing all that barking as a believer, but don't have any bite in our service, our tithing, our attendance, our commitment, our dedication, our presence, our participation into the church of God. And as believers, we've got to get beyond the barking and no biting. And I tell people, listen, I tell people all the time who come to my house, because I have a pit bull and I have a husky, and I don't have pets. I don't have friendly dogs. I don't have dogs that bark and don't bite. Mine actually bark and mine actually bite. There's a saying that I often repeat, that anytime you're serving God, you got to have bulldog tenacity. All right. Anytime you're serving God, you've got to have bulldog tenacity. I'm explaining that here shortly. Anytime you're singing for God, preaching for God, a member of a church, born again believer, anything that you do that is connected to God and godliness, you have to have the bulldog tenacity. What is that? A bulldog tenacity, which means you're biting, you're clamping down, and you ain't letting go till you get what you came for. Listen, the pit bull. Listen, they don't just snap at you, snap at you. When they get you, they hold on and they don't let go till they get everything out of you. As a believer, We've got to really, really, really get serious enough with God. I need y'all to pay attention. As a believer, we've got to get serious enough with God that we really grip down and grab hold to this thing, grab hold to our responsibilities, and do what God says do, so that we can have what God says have, and we can be who God says we can be. And a lot of people are performing rather than maturing. There's a lot of believers who are all bark and no bite. Point number 2, everybody wants the blessing, but nobody wants the baton. Y'all don't like it. Y'all don't like it. Everybody wants the blessing, but nobody wants the baton. Everybody wants the prize at the finish line, but nobody wants to carry the baton in the race. Everybody wants the blessing, but nobody wants the baton. Are you grabbing hold? Are you putting in the work? Are you the one running? Are you the one that's sweating? Are you the one that's really giving everything in order to get from God what he desires for you to do for him? Everybody wants the blessing, but nobody wants the baton. That's what you ought to quote today. You ought to like, tag, and share that today, because the reality is that is a moment of personal conviction as to where you can make your own assessment to ask yourself the question, am I only waiting for God to bless me? Have I really held the baton? Have I really been running with something in my hand, an assignment in my hand? Have I really, really been giving God everything that God desires from me as a believer? I'm a representative of him. Is this what is it? Am I giving God? If I'm pleasing him, am I making him proud? Point number 3 is my encouragement to you today. Give this fight everything you've got. This could be the one. I'm going to say it again because I feel that somebody's been encouraged even now. Even now. I believe somebody's been encouraged even now. Give this fight, this second chance God has given you, or this another chance that God has given you, this opportunity to do better, to do it over, this opportunity to commit for real, this opportunity to serve for real, this opportunity to give for real, this opportunity to tithe for real, this opportunity to sow for real, whatever it is that God has enabled you to do that you didn't do correctly and right the first time. Maybe you are at the wrong church and you're ready to make a decision on moving so you can be all that God desires you to be. Listen to me. I'm speaking and I know that I'm in the right vein of whomever it is I'm talking to. My encouragement to you right now, give this fight. You lost some before. You didn't follow through before. You were swinging and hitting all air before. But let me tell you, give this fight everything you've got. This could be the one. This could be the one that God watches you to see if you are ready for what you've been praying for. This could be the one. This could be the one that changes the trajectory of your entire life. This could be the one. This could be the one that heals your broken heart, mends your disrupted relationships and friendships and family shifts. This fight could be the one that God is using to manifest what you've been believing him for. This could be the one. I'm heavy. This could be the one that God is watching to see if you're really ready for the next phase, the next level. This could be the one. If in fact God was recruiting recipients for miracles, if he was recruiting candidates for blessings, and he came and he was sitting in the bleachers and he was sitting on the sideline and saw your fight, saw your service, saw your sacrifice, saw your seed, saw your dedication and your devotion, would he pick you for the next? Would he? And that's why, not in this season. Listen to me. Not in this season, but in this session, this could be the one. You've got to give this fight everything you got. In this session, you cannot afford to lose. In this session, that's for somebody today. You cannot afford to lose. You sacrificed too much. You've prayed too much. You've cried too much. You've pleaded too much. In this session, you cannot afford to lose. Heaven is depending on you. Heaven is watching you. And heaven is ready to reward you. In this session, you cannot afford to lose. Only the strong survive. Can you really fight? You've talked about it. You've bragged about it. But can you really fight? It's kind of like somebody fighting for real, and they begin to talk about the fights they've won, but most of the fights they won have been by default. God said, I don't want your fights to be victorious because of default. Are you really fighting the fight of faith? The good fight? Are you really running for me? If you're running for God, you will have a baton in your hand.